Hi-rez Studios decides to fire up Tribes Ascend once again. Elsword kicks off Season 2 with revamps to Elsword and Rena. Blade and Soul concludes its final closed beta before launch next month, and Robocraft's latest update goes full spectrum. What's happening, guys? James Ballon here with Immortals.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements of the week ending December 21st, 2015. Starting out the news this week is an interesting piece of news that is so odd that my mind sort of lost it somehow and didn't include it in last week's recap despite having it prepared already. And that news is that Hi-rez Studios launched Update 1.1 for Tribes Ascend. Yeah, you heard me correct. Tribes Ascend. You know, the game that they sort of left hanging there? Well, a brand new update came out of the blue, and it's aptly named Update 1.1. It's about time. It's a good name, by the way. So does this mean that the game is back and Hi-rez is picking up where they left off? We're pretty sure it does. I guess they've heard the cries and the trash talk for far too long to let the game go completely. After Smite, they sort of just abandoned it. But you guys know about that. So now with Paladins and Smite World Championship on their plate, I guess they figured it was the perfect time to bring back Tribes with a new update. Cause logic? Hopefully they can handle it. Anyway, the update that launched for Tribes is a pretty beefy one at that, adding in 3 new Capture the Flag maps, revamps entirely to the classes, weapon and vehicle rebalances, and a boatload of tweaks and improvements. Maybe this will be the start of continuous updates going forward, but only time will tell. Next up, in rolls the holiday spirit in the games we like to play. Last week I mentioned WildStar's Protostar's WinterFest Extravaganza, and this past week it has begun. The centerpiece of WinterFest, of course, is the majestic, duty-free, and gravity-defying Protostar Super Mall in the sky. During the events going on right now, players can go through the most dizzying shopping spree the galaxy has ever seen, with randomized challenges and quests, fast-paced bargain hunts, and never-before-seen deals. Plus, every time you return, it will be a completely different and randomized experience. From there, you can gather in the city's gardens to participate in public events such as the Snowtron Smash, which of course has to do with hoverboards like always in WildStar. These are just a few holiday-themed events and features going on in WildStar currently. Check out the official site post and the new video to learn more. Also join in the celebration, Heroes of the Storm has new holiday-themed content, costumes, and mounts. The new video you see playing here talks about the holiday cheer in the Nexus during the Winter Veil, placing Stitches as the new Great Father Winter over Thrall. I've got to say, the evil snowman minions and mercs look pretty awesome, and so does the new hero, Lunara. Though, according to the story in the video, she gets mistaken as a reindeer. Kinda funny. New bundles have been added for a limited time, and the new Great Father Winter Stitches and Sugar Plum Savannas are exclusively available during the Winter Veil events, and all other skins and mounts in the shop are 50% off right now. I want to check that out. So it looks like Skyforge isn't the only game from My.com celebrating the holidays. Armored Warfare joins in with festivities, discounts on in-game stuff, and even some limited edition bundles and vehicles. Players will get bonus reputation multipliers all throughout the rest of December, including the first ×5 first win bonus weekend ever, this coming holiday weekend. The new custom Ice Edition tanks look pretty sweet, and like I said, there are discounts on everything. But the coolest part is players that log in during the event will receive a Type 59 premium tank for free. Not a bad gift if you ask me. But speaking of Skyforge, last week Obsidian Entertainment and My.com announced a new region available to Immortals who have reached 187,000 prestige. Kinda sounds like a lot. Called Unsuni Valley. This new location was cut off from the world by surrounding mountains and is not as serene as it once was. Invaders have ravaged the area, destroyed towns and villages, causing the sky itself to become thickened with an ashy-colored smoke. Oh boy. The poor citizens of Unsuni Valley look up to their immortal protectors to rid the area of the hordes of Verds, Reapers, demons, and various elemental guardians. Various items of equipment, continued Atlas development, and more await those who seek to take back Unsuni Valley from its new inhabitants. Next up, Elsword started to roll out its Season 2 updates, I mentioned in the recap before last, starting out with the character revamps for Elsword and Rena. With this update, both characters receive their English voiceovers, which can be swapped back and forth with the Korean voices now from the options menu. Elsword's special skill Iron Body has been upgraded. You are now able to cancel a deployed skill or command in order to make more effective attacks, not to mention Elsword's character design has been revamped altogether. Rena, on the other hand, got an upgrade to the effect of Nature's Force and Hyperactive skill, and they've streamlined the skill system altogether. The skill window changes include general character information, an upgraded character icon, character intro, and primary skills. The skill tree now shows you the skills that you can learn, sorted according to the skills level requirement. You can now learn skills automatically by reaching certain levels. The skill point system has been removed entirely, so you no longer need skill points in order to unlock new skills. Lots of changes with this single update, but there's plenty more to come. Keep an eye out at MMOHuts.com for all the up-to-date information on Elsword Season 2 updates. The latest update for Paladins launched this past week that finally introduced the deck construction feature. Now players don't have to use the default decks for their characters, and this will really change up the playstyle for most players. But they've also introduced ways of keeping things balanced in terms of the way the decks are built, making sure that specific types of cards are selected for the right levels and don't give players too much power right out of the gate. Not to mention they've done further reorganization of the cards and their rarity, and even added new cards for some of the characters in this update. In the latest patch overview video you see playing here, DriveBear also mentions the first tournament for Paladins, known as the Founders Tournament, taking place in Atlanta, Georgia, with a prize pool of $100,000. Not bad for their first one. Hi-rez got that Smite money. No wonder they're able to revive Tribes Ascend out of the blue. On a similar note, in a company blog post this past week, Riot Games, developer and publisher of League of Legends, revealed that its shares have been fully acquired by its majority investor, Tencent Games. Tencent is one of the largest internet companies in the world and partners with many Western gaming companies to publish in China and the Eastern world. So with Tencent purchasing the remaining equity of Riot Games, what does it mean for League players? Well, nothing. Or maybe everything. It's kind of too early to tell. All we know is Tencent will have the final say on any major decision they make from now on, like perhaps having large League of Legends booths at the gaming conventions once again. That'd be nice. I guess we'll see. Nothing to worry about for now, though. Next up, it turns out this past week has been a huge success for Artix Entertainment, in that its new project, AdventureQuest 3D, has been both fully funded on Kickstarter and lit on Steam Greenlight. On Kickstarter, they were looking to earn $200,000, and they've hit that mark already, with 10 more days to go in the campaign, so they're looking for stretch goals already. So as you can probably tell, AdventureQuest 3D is a reimagined 3D version of the popular 2D Flash web game, AdventureQuest and AdventureQuest World. Some of you guys might be familiar with that. This reimagined 3D version is cross-platform compatible, so you can play with friends on PC, phone, and tablets alike in a persistent online world with real-time combat and PvP. The new features trailer here talks about what the new game offers players interested, but the Kickstarter page and website offer insight on how they've redesigned some of the creatures and heroes into the 3D world. And to be honest, it looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's been supported on both Kickstarter and Steam Greenlight, so it definitely has a following. Might be worth looking into. The final closed beta for Blade and Soul ends today, December 21st, and that means that we are less than 5 weeks away from the official launch on January 19th. Snagging a Founders Pack before then will get you into the game several days earlier for the Head Start that starts on January 15th, and the Name Reservation that starts on January 11th. If you haven't been able to get into the closed betas in time to check it out for yourself, you're in luck because our writers have been in-game for every single beta weekend, keeping track of everything, so be sure to check out the individual beta weekend reviews in order to keep up with the progress and get an idea of what to expect on launch in the coming weeks. The latest update to Robocraft is pretty awesome, per usual. This time around, all existing users get free premium until New Year's Day as a special Christmas present from FreeJam. And if you happen to already own premium, you will still get the extra days added to your account. Nice. The new update is called Full Spectrum Combat, and it gives you the ability to paint the cubes on your robot with the new paint applicator gun, allowing you to customize the look of your robot even further than before. Beyond that, all game modes have been unlocked for players. Team Deathmatch, Battle Arena, and the Pit are now available to all users and all robot ranks. Plus, all garage slots are now free. You can add extra garage slots and have a maximum of 25. They've also added in a new auto health regen feature that lets you automatically recover health over time if you're able to retreat to cover after taking damage. Now, what I've mentioned so far covers about 1/3 of what has been added in this update, so when they say full spectrum, I mean, they mean it in every sense of the term. Finally, last but not least, the latest update to Warframe called the Ring of Fire introduces Najah, the Swift Protector. Kinda cool that they introduced Najah right when Smite introduced their rework of Najah. You can definitely see the resemblance. Najah as a Warframe combines his agile movements with a badass new weapon. His first ability, called Firewalker, blazes a trail of flames that scorches enemies while cleanses allies. Always handy. Blazing Chakram has him hurl a flaming ring that burns enemies and causes them to emit a healing blast on death, and he's also able to reactivate this ability to blink to the ring's location. Warding Halo lets him create a protective ring of fire that also stuns and damages enemies who try to give him a hug. And if that's not enough, his final ability impales nearby enemies with divine spears that erupt from the ground and look freaking cool. The new update itself is small considering the recent launch of the second Dream, so this one focuses on Najah alone and a couple of holiday-themed skins. Either way, still an update. Anyway guys, that's about it for all the major MMO news and announcements for this week. Oh, by the way, we just got a really cool raffle for Rune's Story with 250 jewels on the line. Check out the details through the link in the description below. Pick up more information about the topics featured in the recap from the links in the description below as well. For even more news, head over to MMOHuts.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Be sure to have a very Merry Christmas, travel safe if you plan on traveling, and until next time guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.